morning, everybody. I did do a little boomer things. Just goes to show how good how important it is to have dry hands when you're working on a little mouse toggle pad. My hands were a little wet, so things were slipping and not selecting when I tried. But anyways, thank you guys for joining us. And as you can see, we have Jim back with us for this week. Hopefully from here on out, but you never know if people will be busy. So you want to say hi, Jim?
You say something?
Yeah. You ignoring me already?
Yeah, you got
Come
started
on,
early.
didn't you miss me for like, how long has it been? 3 weeks since we streamed together? 4 weeks?
Of course.
Anyways. All right. George says he's giving you a thumbs up in order of him coming back. All right, so we're going to say hi to those that are in the chat. There was a bit of conversations while we were waiting, so hopefully everybody's having a lovely 4th of July weekend. And here, Get Over It says, hope everybody's having a great weekend. So thanks for joining us, Get Over It. We have Jim who's here. Unfortunately, it looks like Get Over It's working. I'm sorry there, Get Over It. We have Snuggy who's here. We have me that was here. We have JP saying, hopefully everybody's having a wonderful 4th. Mrs. Good Stuff is joining us. Thank you. And then I know that just says Elbacoff, but teach me how to Snuggy. They were also trying to...
He says he likes working, the weirdo.
Hopefully it's, I wonder if it's work, or if it's, hobby work. We also have Nick Greer. I get made fun of for calling you Greer there, Nicholas, but I'm going to keep calling you Greer because it just makes sense to me, even though that's not your name.
I'm the only one that makes fun of you for it.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. And of course, we have George in the chat. Thanks for joining. Hope you are having a wonderful 4th. And Crazy Mad saying he's here just to make fun of me. So thank you for that, Crazy. Hopefully not too bad. We have Mr. Von Sugel that says fresh Jelly Bellies are so much better than 5-year-old Jelly Bellies. I don't know. I'm thinking Jelly Bellies are good regardless of how old they are.
They're not bad, but once in a while I like to have regular jelly beans.
Hail the Mo. And we do have D-Wag here. Hey D-Wag, thanks for joining. And I think we're about to the end, unless somebody else popped in. Oh, Stato is here. He is working too. Have to head back to work, but wanted to say hello. Yeah, too bad everybody didn't get like a 3.5 day weekend. All right, so for those of you that have not actually watched our show previously, we tend to pull up Indiegogo campaigns, usually through Creator Go, because that's a good spot to go to look to see who is funded, who is not funded, those that need a little bit more love. So I'm not sure if Jim has Creator Go that's ready to be pulled up, so we can look to see if we have something there. I know last week some of the campaigns were not on Creator Go that had just funded, but not just funded, just launched, but not funded. So I didn't do Creator Go exclusively last week. So, I don't know. Actually, there is one that I remember we were talking about last week. What was it? Crazy Vigilant Fury? Is that the one with James Freeman? I think it was Vigilant Fury, where, we could look at that one if we have time. Actually, it's right there on Creator Go, number 74. All right. All right. I know briefly you mentioned something about El Crudo.
Yeah, it's the bottom of the list of unfunded.
All right. So I suppose we can look at El Crudo and then look at Vigilant Fury?
Yeah, either way. Or you want to look at this one first. I don't care.
Doesn't matter which order. Snuggy says you prefer Grandma Jelly Beans.
Prefer what?
Grandma Jelly Beans. And I'm like, I'm not sure what George is sighing for, but I have a feeling it has to do with this comment. And I think we're good.
What's George saying?
George just sighed. He wrote out sigh, S-I-G-H. But I'm assuming, although it could be this one too, that Star Wars Girl Cosplay Calendar Gamer Edition needs the most love. Well, we can say that, Anna did launch it yesterday, but it's funding pretty well, so we probably don't need to look at that. But if you want to do that on your own time, go right ahead.
Anyway, what's wrong with grandma jelly beans except black licorice? Yuck.
I don't know. I'm a Jelly Belly fan too. But my candy of choice would be Haribo gummies, or however you pronounce that company. All right, so El Crudo 5. It is on number 5. I remember it was out before ARO 15, right? Mo?
Yeah, I think it has, man.
Or like when he started talking about AR 15, that's when there was some thoughts that El Crudo was out there, and I think they might have even thought that Mo got his inspiration from them. I don't know if Mo can explain that story a little more, but El Crudo is not something that I am unfamiliar with. I didn't realize they were on number 5 though, so they're definitely trucking along for the most
I think
part.
it's mostly been Kickstarter though, right?
I don't know. I think they were on Indiegogo back when, when I became, more into Bancroft's chat. And I think it was always Indiegogo, but maybe they were Kickstarter.
Black licorice is the worst.
I don't mind black licorice. See? It's not giving me agree.
Of course,
All right,
you
it's
do.
not
You
the
like
best.
green olives too.
It's green olives, black olives. I like the olives. But Okay, so hey Blake, thanks for joining us. I did see that he snuck in here somewhere, but I don't see his chat anywhere soon. Now Mo is pointing out, there's Blake, the splintering. Mo is pointing out that his inspiration was from trolling Brian Kriskow with Six Gun Gorilla.
Of course.
Yeah. So okay.
Even so, it's kind of amazing that this is so familiar with the same theme,
That's true.
A U.S. Marine Corps orangutan stuck behind enemy lines during the Vietnamese War. So anyway, he's 97% of $500 flexible wool. So
11 days left though. I wonder if
11
he
days
launched it for 30 or if he's doing it 15, or I don't know when he would have started it. Maybe the updates say something. So 2 weeks ago. So yeah, he's been about 30 days. 30 days and he hasn't made the $500 funding.
If he made the update as soon as he launched, sure.
Well, he's roughly 30 days, because if it was 13 days ago, 11 days to go, it didn't just launch, is my point, in that, he didn't just set it for 15 days.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. That makes me a little worried. Does that not make you worried?
What?
The fact that it's the 5th book, he only has 16 backers, and it's already been out there for at least 2 weeks. So if his...
I don't know that I see him anywhere other than Twitter, because I followed him way back when I heard about this, but I never backed it.
Yeah, I guess I'd be curious to look at the previous campaigns, and I suppose I can look those up. But my point is if you're getting repeat customers, I would think you'd be funded by now, and that more than 16 backers have signed on for the next campaign.
Unless he does both Kickstarter and Indiegogo, and maybe his
followings on Kickstarter.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. All right, let me see if I can look up El Crudo for the other ones.
Yeah, he's only had 4 and 5 on Indiegogo. El Crudo 4 and El Crudo 5.
Oh, can you see the numbers or what he has raised previously?
Yeah, on number 4. $894, 36 backers. Total.
Okay. Not as high as I guess I was picturing, but
No,
it
like
is still showing that previous backers are not returning. That's a red flag to me.
Maybe. I don't know.
You don't get that. So does anybody else in the chat get that sense? Or look at that? Like maybe people
We'd have to look at
that.
Kickstarter too, because if he's doing both, like I said, maybe maybe for number 4 he didn't do both. I don't know.
Mm,
You'd have to balance out and find out how many backers were on Kickstarter also. But like I said, we don't see them, and I don't know. Let's look at
that's
the
true.
campaign, and maybe it isn't very good.
George says he gets the sense that the book isn't any good. Like maybe I'm reading into it. Maybe, maybe it is good and people are just not wanting to be first day backers.
Yeah, I don't know. This cover art doesn't look too bad.
It's true. It's okay. It definitely gets the picture, across. Like this is what you're seeing. Everything looks, accurate enough to transport you to where you need to be.
Right. The synopsis here. If you
Oh, is
want to
that
read
a
that.
jaw making out the U in Crudo? Looks like it.
Right.
All
Yeah.
right. So El Crudo is an orangutan raised by the USMC who is dropped into the Vietnam War and gets stuck behind enemy lines. El Crudo lands deep in the Vietnam highlands, an area controlled by the ruthless Viet Cong warlord Major Deng. Their worlds are about to collide in a catastrophic way. Is that not the basis of all the books? I don't know. All right, so Get Over It did point out that Kickstarter for number 4 had 78 backers, $2,738.
All right. So not great, but 100 backers. He has some.
No, and that Kickstarter ended on number 5 with 88 backers, 2,446. Okay, so at least on Kickstarter, seeing growth. I guess just the being an established IP with number 5. Granted, it may not have the reach as some other IPs, but being on book 5, I'm thinking it's established that I would be looking to see if there's repeat backers. And I guess with the numbers of being just 16 with at least 2 weeks into it, I'm not sure who's returning.
98 of the 115. So it's still not that bad yet.
hmm
I mean, I don't know.
So Mr. Von Stugel says he does see the guy pop up in the chats once in a while.
Does he?
I think I've seen his name in Bancroft's chat at least a couple times. I'm not sure that he's really a regular. Granted, my Bancroft watching these days is on the rewatch, so I don't always look at the chats. Mo Big points out if he gets stuck behind enemy lines, why does he not just strip down and pretend to be a regular orangutan? It's a bit of a tongue twister there, but that makes perfect sense, Mo.
Sure.
And then George points out he's modest. All right. So yeah, the art not terrible.
Not great, but not terrible. Correct. I
Well,
agree.
I it comes across that you're seeing. I'm assuming it's the orangutan. It is back to he is going through the jungle. Like what needs to be presented there is presented there, and I suppose that is a sign of at least good art. Whether or not you prefer that art is definitely a different thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't know because if it's all Vietnam War, how many issues can you go through? Of is it just all action or what?
I don't know. So wait, was it only that synopsis that I read? There's really no other writing on that campaign page?
Right.
Hmm. Okay. I would be
So
curious to. Oh, go ahead.
that'd probably be a suggestion to make. Just be a little more. Although clutter sucks, but also does not having enough information to let people know. I
Well, I
mean,
was
this is probably great for the people that already have the book. You know what I mean? They
exactly
probably don't need more information, but the people that
right.
come in here for the first time, you might want to be a little more informative.
And that's what I was going to say, because I'm like, well, that is good for this book. But I'm curious, like you were just saying, how are you going to keep the orangutan in the Vietnam War? I would think that, some synopsis would be like, well, we followed El Crudo through this, this, and this. Now we find him here, so at least you kind of know where he's been, where he's coming. Like, what are the other books about? Is it just more of another mission during the Vietnam War?
Right.
Oh, and then it sends in a bunch of information about everything he's published before.
Yeah, it shows the 4 books. I think that's a good idea. But so Manny is the creator. Andres Ponce is line artist. German Nobi is colorist. And Rick Joseph letterer. I'm not really familiar with any of those people.
Nope. Can't say I've heard of them.
Yeah, the
And then
covers all look not bad. I've seen much worse in this circle of people.
I think the covers look pretty decent. But although, how Mo points out here that he moved away from Arrow from the Vietnam thing when he found out about this, but also because he didn't want to do an alternate history where we won Vietnam, which is the only logical result if Arrow was there. But I know, because Mo was saying how he created ARO 15 based on trolling Six Gun Gorilla. Now, honestly, that book was not something that I would think would be a theme I would prefer. One, you got the humanoid orangutan, well, gorilla, I should say, and then you have like it's Western setting. I'm like, I don't really care for westerns, and then I prefer the books that are more believable, I guess you would say. You get real people, real problems, superhero stories, okay, maybe, but give me more of an action suspense type of thing. But I got Six Gun Gorilla, and I really liked Six Gun Gorilla. It's actually probably one of my top 10 CGs. Books. I do have 7 and 8 hanging around here because I only read the trade paperback, but I haven't read 7 and 8. So, just because it's a theme you don't necessarily think you like, maybe you will like it.
Is it better than Groken?
It is not better than Groken.
Okay, just checking. I was just trying to set you up for that one.
But part of it might also be the fact that, like I said, the themes are not high on my like list. But Brian did a fabulous job with Six Gun Gorilla.
Yeah.
So Past Master Dan's asking who dis. This is El Crudo. It is underfunded. It has a $500 goal, and it's only at what, 438? Is
88.
that what I remember? 488. So it's close to being funded, but not there yet.
So anyway, looking at the perks, it looks like it's only $6 for number 1 through 5 digital.
That's actually a good price to jump in for checking out to see if you like it on digital. If you
Yeah,
don't
I was gonna
mind
say
digital. Yeah.
exactly. And then you could get the hard paper copies if you do like it. It's not very expensive to at least get into it anyway. $12 for physical. Let's go see what shipping cost. In the United States, $5 shipping in the US, $27 for most other places. That's pretty steep.
That does seem unusually high, but who knows what shipping prices are these days. Can't say I've had to ship out much myself.
Yeah, $27 pretty much for everywhere else it seems that they deliver.
Oh. It's good to be an American, right? $5 shipping.
Of course, it's good to be an American.
We get privileges that others just don't. All right, so a physical book. Did we ever? Oh, he never even said how many pages, right? That's not even in the description.
Oh, is it in this description?
I don't know. So I probably wouldn't matter with the digital, but you're paying $12 for a book. I don't think that's expensive, but are we getting a newspaper style book with, your 28 to
Okay.
36 pages?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I didn't see anything about page count.
Oh, GP says he got El Crudo on Kickstarter a few months ago. Which one did you get, GP? And did you like it? And is it newspaper? Is it perfect bound? This campaign is seriously lacking in that, but maybe that's all set on Kickstarter, and then they just transport it over to see whatever they can clean up with Indiegogo. I don't know what that person's thinking. Oh, here he says he still hasn't read it. AZ has joined us. Thanks for stopping by, Astro Zombie. I know there's other people that I probably missed. And we actually have 21 viewers, which thank you guys for stopping in and listening on your probably very busy weekend.
Yep, no page count anywhere that I can tell.
And it doesn't say if it's newspaper or perfect bound or. Yeah, see, that's one of the downfalls. And I find a lot of campaigns tend to do this because it's like, okay, if you're stumbling upon a campaign for the first time, it doesn't give you a lot of information as to what was offered previously, so you know kind of what you're getting into. So seeing this firsthand, I have no idea if it's perfect bound, newspaper, page count, what the previous books were about. I suppose he's doing well with not cluttering the campaign page with a lot of dialogue. You know, he does have a decent amount of sample art, so you know what you're getting for interiors. I'll actually scroll down a little bit more because I was like, I didn't see much for word balloons, but no, I do see the word balloons on that image there, which doesn't look like it's overly wordy, which some people might not like. I know I don't want my word balloons covering up like all the art, but there are certain books that were a little more what I would consider dialogue heavy, and being a reader, I like that because it gives a little bit more insight with certain things.
I think you're in the minority.
I probably am. So GP says I got all their current books for El Crudo, not near it now, but I'm pretty sure it's perfect bound. Oh, so that's if it's perfect bound, you know, even better for a $12 book price. And then I would think it would need to be a certain page count to do perfect bound, or no? Like if it's under a certain page
I, I
count, it
don't
would
think
be
I don't
better of a
think
floppy.
I think there's a minimum, but I think it's up there, like 32 pages or something. Looks like Get Over saying first issue is 28 pages.
Yeah, oh, sorry. I unclicked it as you were clicking it. The first issue is a total of 28 pages, counting the front and back cover. You can read book 1 for free on his site. And then number 3 is 32 pages, number 4 is 52-page special issue. Okay, so the page counts aren't bad, you know. The first issue is just getting into its 20 pages, and it's nice that he offers that you can read it for free so you can kind of know what you're getting into. Snuggy asks if it's doing well. It's been out for 2 weeks and not funded. It has a $500 funding goal, only at, what'd you say, 488, Jim? My memory is not the greatest.
Yeah,
So, you know, I don't know if he's only doing 30 days on Indiegogo, but if he's just doing the first 30, it has another 11 days to go for whatever deadline he has currently set up for it.
sounds cool though that you can read the first one, because then for it's $9 shipping if you get all 5 physical copies. So for $39 you can catch up, get 5 books.
Physical.
If it's any good, that seems like a pretty decent deal.
Right. Although, you know, I'm still kind of hesitant. If I was backing this, and I don't think I will, solely for the purposes I need to budget myself a little bit more. But if I was backing this, I would go with the digital, because it's not a great risk of paying $6 to see if you like it. And then, therefore, if you do like 1 through 5, and when he's launching 6, which I doubt will take long because he's already on 5, so who knows? Give it 6 months and he could be on 7. But you know, if you liked it enough, then that would be where I'd jump into the physical with the next campaign. Mo says he'll fund. He has 11 days to get one more backer. Yeah, I don't think that'll be an issue at all. And who knows? Maybe the next back will be here in this chat. All right. Any other questions about this campaign or any other comments, Jim, before we move on?
No, just let me go over these real quick. So, like, yeah, $6 for the digital, $12 for the single physical, fan edition with a print of the cover mounted to a styrene board and stickers and stuff. Super fan, print of the cover, T-shirt.
Oh, he doesn't have a picture of what the T-shirt would look like, though. Does he?
Not that I've seen anywhere.
Hmm.
Anyway, crazy fan edition, $120. So metal print, physicals, swag bag. So anyway, the tiers all look decent, but we just need a little more information, don't we?
Yeah, yeah. And then, of
So,
course, it sounds like he needs a little bit more eyes. We do have a couple people, by the sounds, that have backed it but have not read it. So it definitely does not have the word of mouth that would be nice when you're looking at an IP for the first time or second,
right.
because technically I'm aware of El Crudo.
So did we want to go to Vigilant Fury next?
Sure.
And you said you talked about this before or something? You're familiar
No,
with
I
it?
watched a couple streams. I'm not super familiar with Julius, but I have seen him on a couple streams. I don't.
Oh
Has
yeah, yeah.
anybody that new feature for Indiegogo? Like if you're idle for too long, it pulls it up where you can look at the tiers right there or the other campaigns. I find that annoying, by the way.
I do too, but not too bad yet.
I think it wouldn't.
Maybe
Well,
upgrade on me.
more annoying since you're sharing your page and it does it. Less annoying if you're just doing a personal look at the campaign. All right, so this is Vigilant Fury, which is done by Julius Freeman. He's at 2 campaigns. What else did he do? Was it a? I think it's the Ninja book. The colors are kind of wacky if I remember correctly, but it didn't look bad. Um, did you want to pull up that campaign to see if it's the one I'm thinking of? I think it had like a little kid that was training to become like a ninja, had kind
The
of like
Ghetto
an 80 ghetto. Yeah, no, ghetto. Yeah.
Dragon Book One.
Okay, so that is the right guy. Okay, so I do have the right person that I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
I can't say I backed that book. Not sure how that book was. I'm not sure if anybody else did back the Ghetto Dragon. Uh, and if they can say, how Julius is with his book. I'm pretty sure he's the writer, but I could be wrong on that too. So the funding goal is 3,000. He is at $673, 22 backers. He launched, I believe he did the 30 days because I don't think it looks, I think he did launch about 12 days ago or, 10 days ago or something like that. I don't think it's been out for a while. Hey, wait a second. What's that featured perk? Is that a new thing for Indiegogo too? Yeah, see, featured perk, level 3 commission bundle. I wonder if, as the creator of the campaign page, if that's an option, because I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I've seen it on a couple others.
Really?
I've
Okay.
heard someone talking about it, but I didn't pay that much attention.
Okay. Hey, Dave, thanks for joining us. New cover, add-ons. So third crowdfunding campaign called Vigilant Fury. All right, so that's the other third one is not either done through Indiegogo or he doesn't have a record because he changed the account. Who knows? So okay, written by yours truly. So he is the writer and drawn by the talented Anthony Gambino. This 80-plus page one-shot comic follows Angela Peretz, a young woman who, while vacationing in Florida, is kidnapped with the intention of being sold into human trafficking. Angela seems like your typical everyday girl, but what the traffickers don't know is that underneath her gentile surface lies a vicious and deadly warrior who will stop at nothing to escape her captivity. Take a peek at the updated cover and first 8 completed and lettered interior pages below. Story sounds interesting. So it looks like it's all in black and white. I'm not sure if there's a intentions of keeping it black and white or intentions to color it. Did he write it above and I just don't remember? No, doesn't specify yet. Okay. Maybe when we get down to the stretch goals, maybe the coloring will be a stretch goal. Now, is it just me? But I see text boxes. Okay, there's text. I'm like, does nobody speak? Because I didn't see like the vocal text boxes, at least not in the couple of pages that you were just scrolling through. I don't know, Jim. What do you think of the art?
I don't like it a lot.
Yeah, it's not calling out to me either, but I don't know if I would like it better in color either. Like I don't think it's the fact that it's black and white that I'm not liking it. I think just I don't know. The story,
I don't.
the pretense sounds good. And then genuine comment says it's supposed to be black and white, and then 80s Mo is pointing out how it's 80 pages for $15, so it's probably staying black and white. You making fun of me there, George? Yes, that is what I said.
Dialogue.
The dialogue vocal, where they're speaking aloud, not just place and time. Not a creator. I don't know all the fine words of comic books, and I'm new. All right, so black. Oh, that's white. Black and white. This book's in black and white. What better way to deliver this action-packed, badass, gritty thriller than the traditional hand-drawn, stark black and white? When discussing whether or not to color a book, Gambino and I decided that it would be better to let the ink sing in order to really hammer home the pulpy noir feeling. I think Gambino's contrast captured the tone of this story perfectly, don't you? I can see where it would definitely help to the gritty noir. So if that's the look you're going for, that's great. They got a ton of add-ons. Prints and a behind-the-scenes companion book. And most of the add-ons are at no additional shipping cost. What's a VFIGG QR code? Are they like, does that mean it's digital with a VFIGG QR code?
I have no idea. Vigilant Fury, Indiegogo. I don't know.
Astro Zombie points out the art is okay, has a film noir look that has him a bit interested. And then I think that looks kind of cool. And George points out VF is Vigilant Fury. Oh, I guess that makes sense. Isn't there a grading, like a comic book grading? Very VF, very fine, very. I could be off. So that's why I was thinking it was like some sort of grading, not thinking title. So those character poses of I'm assuming the main character looks good. There was a panel up top that had the lady on the ground. At least I'm assuming it's the lady, but she didn't look very ladylike. She definitely looked a little more masculine. So I'm not sure if it really was the main character or not.
Yeah, some of these, I don't know. The art isn't grabbing me, but the story does sound like it might be a neat story. Don't you agree?
Yeah. I think this would be one where like I'm not crazy about the art. Like it's sufficient. It works. You know, it definitely does have that gritty indie comic feel. But where I'm not completely sold on it, it would definitely be more of a situation where I'd be looking at a digital copy so I could read it and get the story and see if that catches me more. And I have done that with books previously. Actually, if Dave is still in the chat, that's, what I did with Dave. I liked the art but wasn't sure about the story, so let's grab the digital copy of Perfect 10, and I'm so glad that I did it that way.
I wonder if the same artist is doing the inking and the penciling, because there's some big differences. I mean, this is very, very loose.
Yeah, well, he's probably just doing it as a guide. I think he didn't list any other artists, just that Anthony Gambino. So I'm assuming the artist is doing, or
Yeah.
Anthony is doing it all.
Well, the inking is an improvement over the pencils.
Mo points out the digital is only $5. See, that's not a bad 80 pages digital, $5. That would be something that I would be interested in gambling with, for lack of a better word. And Astro Zombie points out that a good story can excuse okay art.
Yeah, right. And I think the story is good enough. I may back this. I'm not sure yet. I do like Julius.
I know he did say that I don't know if he talked up Anthony Gambino's art just because, of course, you need to sell the person that you have working on your book. But I'm not familiar with Anthony Gambino. I'm not sure if others have heard of him. Like maybe he's done other works that, just me being more focused on certain books in CG or something like that is not familiar with his other work. So at 5,000, Vigilant Fury bookmark. All backers receive a VF bookmark. They get a coaster at 8,000. All backers receive a double-sided coaster.
I wonder if he just snagged Snuggie Jr.
Bookmark, get it back, it's Snuggie. Although lots of campaigns offer bookmarks, so Snuggie would be poor if that was the only criteria needed to back a book.
That coaster had probably perked up George. Or maybe not.
Coaster. You think George is a coaster person?
No.
I think George is I
I
don't want anything but the book.
I'm thinking so.
I don't know. Do people use coasters still? I'm looking at like my coffee mug that I have sitting next to me that's not on a coaster.
Coasters and patches are the same to me. They just sit in a box until I decide to throw them out. If that ever
You
happens.
could use a patch as a coaster, but not a coaster as a patch.
I don't see why you couldn't sew a coaster to your jacket.
What are you going to do when you need to wash the jacket?
Or you could use hot glue.
Okay. It is kind of nice to see the penciled images and then to see the final inked images. And I wonder if that's part of the book, because he did say something about a behind the scenes book. So I bet that those images are probably in it.
Here are the Twitter handles if anyone wants to check them out and follow them on Twitter. I don't know. What did it say?
For what?
Was that? I said sketch thumbnail pencil. Where did you see something about?
Keep going up. It was talking about, at least I think it was up.
Behind the scenes book.
Yeah. Okay, so you have to back it for $10. But scroll to, okay,
so it has ink process shots.
It does say scroll to see the preview of some of the behind the scenes action. So yeah, everything below that we were seeing most likely is included in that behind the scenes. That makes sense.
Yeah. So let's go check out.
The tiers?
Yeah. Start with, like you said, digital is $5. So Physical copies 15. See what the shipping out and about. Yeah, all the add-ons there. $8 in the United States, and it looks like 15 in the UK.
Not a bad difference between the US and the UK.
No, 15 everywhere.
That seems like a decent price considering what. No, actually, maybe not decent. Like decent as in you're saving, but do you think he might be shorting himself if he's doing 15 for international?
Probably but it'll probably even out because there's probably some international that'll be less, or maybe he's shortened himself the whole way, and I don't know. Maybe with $15 for the book and $15 shipping, maybe he's covering himself either way. Just getting the book out there.
True, although it is 80 pages of a book, so I'm sure that production isn't inexpensive. Granted, he's not paying someone to color it.
That's true.
Estimated delivery March of 2023. So you're looking at what 8-month turnaround time ish.
Yeah.
Get a sketch card.
$15 sketch card. So what was the one sketch card? Oh, a book and a sketch card for $25.
So 15. You're saving $5, right? Because the book was 15, and then the sketch card individually was 15.
Right.
You're saving $5 to get both if you wanted both. That's not a bad price right there.
That's not bad.
A logo bundle? What's that?
Oh, so a logo for your name here, basically.
Hey, Eric. Wait. Your name. What? Custom logo design and produced by Gambino for your project, if you have one. Oh. So he's basically pimping his artist to be your artist for a logo. If you have one, book and prints by other talented artists. Highly again recommend to get on this as there's only 5 available. That is kind of interesting. If you're looking for a logo, you can get the book and a logo for $5 or $100. Right. Not that I know exactly how much logos go for these days. That is interesting for somebody that was looking for a book.
Yeah.
Maybe I think it was Gambino Studios, I think was his Twitter handle. Maybe he'll have more showings of what his logos are that he's done previously if you want to invest in that option. But as a creator, that is maybe something I'd look into, because I would think that just the logo alone would be more than 100. And now you're getting a book too.
Hey, there's Dean.
Dean. And Snuggy points out that Dean's doing a bookmark too.
I'm just overwhelmed with excitement.
You are not a bookmark fan, clearly. And not that I was really a bookmark fan until there came a Roquefort bookmark with tassel.
Tassel as well.
With tassel. Actually, one of the things, we'll go back in the days, Scholastic book fairs in schools. I used to always buying the bookmarks to go with like the new book that I got. So whenever they came, the bookmarks would be something that I would buy. And of course they would have like, usually cute kittens or cats that are on the bookmark with the tassel.
All right, I'm gonna have to mute you. Don't be giving Snuggy ideas about cute.
Don't forget the cute cat bookmark, Snuggy. Or those, the posters are like the hang in there. And Eric's pointing out extras go in the trash for him too. What if it's a sketch card, a sketch trading card? That would be something that you'd like, right? Even though you have to pay extra for a sketch card, Eric? And the Gambino special. What's the Gambino special?
3 pages of original art from the book, an 11 by 14 original commission, 3 sketch cards, plus book, plus prints, plus the prints.
Wow. If you are a Gambino fan, that is definitely the way to do it, because you get 3 pages of original art, one
Yeah.
11 by 14 commission, 3 sketch cards, and then the book stuff. So if you are a Gambino fan, that's a really good price.
Yeah, for sure. Looks like just original art pages are $120.
Yeah, so 360 of that 400 is just art pages. That would be the way to go.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, if
Looks all right.
he's, how many was limited to that $400 thing?
5, I think.
$400 tier is 5. So 5 at 315. So he's selling off 15 pages. So that still makes at least 65 pages available, or him keeping.
Well, the original art was only 20, so he's not selling all the pages.
Oh, that's right. There's that tier to include. You're right. Okay. Has he updated yet? He did, right? At least one.
Yeah.
All right, so that's good. At least being 2 weeks in, and you do have an update. Do you guys see that more people are updating, or you think people are still having problems updating as far as creators on a whole?
I'm not sure. I haven't been paying. I don't pay attention to updates. Oh, but it looks like so some of these that say 0 claim, the tiers have actually been replaced. So there's some have already,
I've already sold.
yeah, there's already some sales, but it may seem like there's less than there already are because they updated some. So they hid the ones that they had to update.
As far as updating, I can tell you that TMC went on a updating frenzy today, because I got an update in regards to the U.S. Assassin Deluxe Edition. I got an update on not Viking Wolf, Black Owl, and I got an update on, actually maybe it was Viking Wolf. Maybe he was saying that, talking about the closeout for the U.S. Assassin Deluxe Edition.
I rarely browse through updates. Once in a while I do, and I definitely do when I hear that I missed out on a digital link or something that was they included in an update or something. I just get too many of them.
Eric says he thinks IGG is cracking down on creators, I'm assuming in terms of updating. But yeah, it is. If a campaign's going late, it is nice to have an update. I know there is a certain campaign that is late. I have seen some people with the books in their hands, but that was also 2 months ago, and I still don't have my book, and no update since. So it does kind of make me wonder what is going on with that fulfillment.
It's a lot of work. Is it someone that had a lot of orders?
First time creator, I'm pretty sure.
But how many backers?
Is busy with other books. I don't know. I wouldn't think. Actually, I'll look it up right now. And the book in question is Buckler. I'm like, what am I thinking of? Yep. So in case I won't beat around the bush, it's the Buckler. He is busy on other things by the sounds. But Dillard, it'd be nice to have updates. It is okay. It's a 2 campaign thing. Oh, I wonder if the first one is I think he did a coloring book, sort of thing, but it has 328 backers, so it's definitely respectable number of backers.
Yeah, that's not as. I was thinking it was you were talking about like one of the 1,000 backer plus campaigns. I could see that getting very bogged down, in fulfillment.
Mm-hmm.
get that many. He should be able to get many out a week, I would think.
So General Piggy points out that he got an update on Knife Hand Blind Spot today. I'm assuming that's Zach's project, if I remember correctly. Mo Big says he's already got his Black Owl Digital, which for those of you that backed it, I think it got sent out within the last couple of days, so definitely go look for it. He rates it okay out of 5.
I don't know if that's good.
Yeah.
So you want to look at another one, or any more here?
I'm not
Want to
sure
wrap
what
it
else
up?
there is to look at. We probably could wrap it up. I'm not sure if anybody else has any questions, concerns, thoughts. If
Yeah,
there
chat.
is another campaign to do real quick.
What do
I
you want to
know
talk about, chat?
I have a little girl that wants to go to the movies, so we're going to the movies tonight. We're going to go
Nice.
see Minions.
I don't know anything about Minions, but
Yeah.
going
I don't know.
outside with the kids is probably a good thing to do.
That's true, rather than being in the house. Although I'm not a huge Minion fan. I would much rather go when, I'm looking forward to the day that she's older, but not really. So, maybe she's into like the teen drama movies. Not that I saw any at the movie theater. But I would much appreciate that than a, children's cartoon. But it'll be funny. I know Minions is funny.
I think I think I would be different. I'd be the opposite of that. I think I'd rather go see animated cartoons
Than the teeny
than
bopper movies.
teeny
You're a guy.
bopper movies.
You're a guy. All right, so GP points out your boy Zach's video today gave out examples of what he says is modern manga. My headmistress is my alien, and my life as a calculator. I'm assuming those are themes for the manga. Um, we did talk about on the chat last night briefly that Zach, I believe, is launching a campaign tomorrow in regards to the newest Lost Souls. Do I have the wrong? Not the Lost Souls is the subtitle. Jawbreakers. There we are. The newest Jawbreakers, and he's selling it for $1. Curious to see how that is going to go down. And then Crazy Matt also points out that Tiger Blue 2 is launching tonight on Bancrofts. I know as of this morning, Fowler wasn't sure exactly the time. He thought it was 8 o'clock, but I wonder if that's because Bancroft usually does his off night launches at 9 o'clock Eastern time, and that would make it 8 o'clock Fowler's time because I think he's in Central. But anyways, whether it's 8 p.m., 9 p.m., watch out for Bancroft's streaming of Tiger Blue. Eric Guapo says, look at Groken 2. I want to complain about not being able to back cover B by itself. It shouldn't be a surprise, Eric, because that's how we ran the first campaign. But do you want to pull up Groken? Oh, yeah. This is another thing that's news. So last night we also talked about the fact that the chat is continuing. In the meantime, who knows how long, it's temporary, whatever. The show is being moved. Last night it was on this channel, my channel, for a night because Vanessa put in for her own YouTube channel, but it was within 24 hours, so she couldn't stream on it. So next week the chat will be on Danger Vanessa because she's going to be the is in facto the right word I want? The in facto temporary leader for the time being. So that will be the new home for the chat for at least a little while, if not permanently.
Did you say de facto?
In facto, right? No? Did I have it wrong? Should it be de facto?
I don't know what in facto means, but I don't know.
I could be wrong.
My English and your English don't always match.
Yeah. Oh, 24 has joined us. Thank you for joining. Mo, actually, we haven't heard from Leroy. I think he's just disenchanted at the fact. Is in facto the word I want, Eric? I don't think so. What's the word, George? You could probably help me out here. What is the word for like the stand-in for the time being? Am I
De
not using the right word?
facto.
It
De
is de
facto.
facto. Okay, so I was kind of along the right lines, but not right. And this would be where I would be Googling it to make sure I'm using the right word before I type something. But here we are live on air. So you're
I don't
seeing how
know,
my
but I
brain
think
works.
I should write that down and make it part of the Amanda Dictionary.
We can do that. Hey AA, thanks for joining as well. Although I think we're pretty much getting ready to wrap it up. Although we'll look at Groken 2 the first for the Groken 2 for a few minutes, I guess. I don't know that there's anything I would say besides Eric's gripe about the covers to complain about this.
See, Von Stugel's talking about horse racing.
Why is Von Stugel talking about horse racing?
Exacto, the de facto, the in facto, the trifecta.
Oh, I did
Anyway,
miss this one. GP says the whole dollar book thing for your boy Zach's campaign sounds like a logistical nightmare. I am very curious to see how he thinks he's going to pull that one off.
yeah, I'm not very curious. I don't have any desire to try to think about what he thinks about.
I don't know that you can follow what he thinks about. I'm sure there's many things running through his mind at different occasions. All right,
Anyway,
so we have what?
I sure
Groken.
hope, I sure hope this gets funded.
I sure hope so too. So it launched, is it June 15th, right? June 15th. He started it from the get-go at 61 days, I think, because of the way he started it. So it's not even at the end of the first 30. It is currently at day 43. And he's at $93,630. He only started with a $500 flexible goal, so he is way percentage-wise over what he wanted.
Yeah, when it gets, there's no reason this won't be six figures.
Yeah, I think we'll be getting this book. So I know on the stream on Leroy's channel when we were launching, or not launching, but when we were waiting for the launch, I was so stressed about this campaign. I don't think I was ever more stressed for a campaign than this one. Like, I actually even woke up from a nightmare per se that I was trying to back it and couldn't back it for whatever reason. Like, the devices I was using wasn't working. So yeah, my anxiety was high on this one. Thankfully, once it did launch, I did get the tier that I wanted. I was able to get one of the sketches. So that would make this the most expensive one-time backing campaign tier that I have backed.
I dilly-dallied around and missed out.
But yeah, so the first cover A has Stella on it. And then he did do a new cover for Groken 1.
Where are you at?
I was just looking at the tier, just talking. So there's
Where do you
cover
want to
2.
go? What do we want to
Yeah,
look at?
whatever.
Did he add any add-ons in here?
No, I don't believe he did. It was pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I would like to see add-ons.
So for those of you that might have missed campaign 1, what the hell were you doing? But you can back it here with this one. And, this is one, despite the fact that I get teased for only ranking it number 4 on my CG of all time, it is a really good book. And the reason why it doesn't rank as high as some of the other ones, which those would be Monster MD, Perfect 10, and Starlight Cats. So this would make number 4. It's I think it has more to do with the theme, and the first of book 1 is kind of building that theme. So I have a feeling, if I was to read like a trade paperback or something that gives you more meat and more stuff that's going on, it would definitely put it up there. I can definitely see that this is going to be a beautiful story and the pictures to go with it once things develop more. So Mo asked if I got a Kenneth sketch. Yep, I did get a Kenneth sketch through this campaign. I also have a sketch card that I got from the Lost Pages 2 campaign,
Thanks, Mo.
McKenna.
For now, we got to hear her brag.
Well, but I don't know that I'd be in the running for the Kenneth Rocafort art that's getting put up for adoption, put up for auction. I suppose you
In
could
the in
adopt it
fact
too.
auction.
Yes, yes. You could on the Red Valkyrie channel next Saturday. So if you are really dying for some Roquefort art, he is going to be part of the Red Valkyrie auction, which is next Saturday. They do 3 different time periods through the day. I think I heard he might be on the earliest one, which usually starts around 10 or 11, I think.
You don't have to tell
But
anyone.
yeah, I
No,
probably
no,
shouldn't.
he'll be on at like midnight that night.
Yeah. Snuggy's pointing out that he already backed Roken to 4 times. Snuggy, what are you getting for 4 times? All individual books?
Maybe he got the other 4 sketches. Or
Oh yeah, this was a little bit of confusion. I know it was nice to have the heads up with the first one where he just, the roll of the clock at midnight he launched it and nobody knew. So, in the morning there were still sketches or whatever. But at least with this number 2, he did say he was launching it at midnight. But yeah, so Wednesday at midnight he misunderstood and thought it was Wednesday evening. So unfortunately he did miss out on all the sketches.
I was there with plenty of time. I could have got a sketch and didn't. So, and I didn't refinance my mortgage yet, so I don't know if I'll be able to get anything at auction.
So let's see. Get Over It is pointing out that there is a sign up for Shotgun Samurai's Legends, and it sounds like Jeb is having another part of that book. Sorry, I interrupted.
That's right. I was just going to say I didn't get in on the alternative sketches either.
That leads me to this one. So Dean points out, Amanda and Snuggy just poor shaming me. I want a Roquefort sketch card. So the thing that I've become wise to, and I don't know if I should be sharing my secrets, but the last
You
the
share them
last
with
2
me.
Alterna campaigns, so King Cryptid and the summer campaign for Alterna, I know for sure. And I'm pretty sure it was the one before that, but I didn't know all the details. But he has been graciously doing like 10 sketch cards for each campaign. And because it's the Alterna group, I don't know if they're just not huge Roquefort fans, but with King Cryptid, I was able to be greedy and back 2 Kenneth Roquefort sketch cards twice. So I backed it once and then I did have enough time to go back in. I probably actually had enough time to go back in for a 3rd time, but I'm like, no, we won't be that greedy.
I'm pretty sure part of that is that Pete Cimetti creates them campaigns that have 150 tiers. So you have to dig to the 43rd one to get that sketch card.
Yeah, yeah.
You had to go into the add-ons to find it. So some people
That second one, the King Cryptid, it had its own tier. But yes, the summer campaign, it was an add-on. So I was looking at, I'm like, where's the tier? And then I finally went in and found it, which I actually looked at that campaign. I wasn't there the moment it launched, and he launches off stream, so it's you're waiting for like a countdown somewhere, and Smetti does not do that. But the Roquefort sketch cards, like, they sold out quick, but you're talking quick as in 10-15 minute quick, not 5 seconds when you're looking at like a Roquefort
for the
campaign.
summer one. I think it was a couple hours.
I don't think it was that long, but maybe. But anyways, for those that might be interested in a Roquefort sketch card, definitely be watching those Alterna campaigns in the future.
Sure, make it even harder for me to score one.
Be that greedy. Yeah.
Tell everyone.
So man has a stack of Roquefort sketch cards. There's 3 I don't have yet and 1 that I do. So I guess I would have a stack.
Yeah, Mo Biggs, that's right. Man to go swimming in a pool of Roquefort art, Scrooge McDuck style.
Hey V, thanks for joining.
Now that we're almost done.
All right. Anything else? Oh, did we want to look into yeah, so it is kind of, to get why we were actually looking at Groken, it is kind of a pain, but you know, he's a man of his ways. What he says and does is what he says and does. And he did it with the first campaign, he's doing it with the second campaign. But if you want to get the second cover, which is one, well, he does his art and multimedia. I love the colors of it because for some reason I like the watercolor looking colors. And if you wanted that cover, the only way to get it is to get it with a special tier that you have to get the first one and the second one, right? Yeah, first one, second one, and then you get the sketchbook for $75. Oh,
You're talking
and
about
there's,
A and B for book
yeah,
one, two covers? Yeah.
well, two, the second campaign.
But are you talking about both covers for Groken 2? Or are you talking about also the Groken 1? What are you talking about?
I don't believe you. This doesn't have book one in it. This is cover A for Groken 2 and cover B for Groken 2. If you
Right here,
wanted,
Groken 1 and 2.
right,
Cover D for Groken 1. So I didn't know what you're talking about.
Eric's
What was
comment from earlier.
I don't
How,
remember what it was.
right, he was complaining about the fact that if you wanted cover B
For Groken 2.
for Groken 2, you can't just get cover B.
Understood.
Now, there's this one with the sketch cover, but I think the one down below is just the covers. You don't need the sketch, not sketch cover, sketchbook.
No, no,
Oh.
it's all the
Oh.
covers.
And a sketchbook. There's no way just to get the books. You have to get the sketchbook. Although, who would really pass up a sketchbook by Roquefort?
Yeah, I
Just
don't,
saying.
sure, but I mean, you'd think
But
you would
yeah.
have some kind of, I don't know, without add ons, it'd be nice if you could just add it on to one of the other ones or
Yeah, but
like
if he's
see it.
doing fulfillment himself, any add-ons is going to be a pain in the tuchus.
Right.
No?
But just to his point, there should be an easier way to get cover B.
eBay.
If we were talking campaign one, sure, but we're talking about this current campaign.
You don't think cover B for campaign 2 will be available on eBay shortly after the campaign closes?
Maybe, but why isn't it part of this campaign?
Okay, you have a point there. I know what you're saying. But I remember with the first campaign, I was a little more budgeting with it. So I got on Groken 1, I just got the one cover. And then for the closeout, I'm like, hell with it, because it was cover B that I preferred. I'm like, let's get all three. So I ended up backing all three. And I'm excited that I still got the first cover too, because that first single tier cover that I purchased is the reader copy, and I haven't even opened up the other ones. So I became a collector, I guess, without even realizing it. All right, so yeah, cover Beyond Broken was fire from Snuggie. Sorry, trying to find my cursor, Snuggie. There we are. And Snuggie's pointing out that I have a Snuggie sketch. Technically, Snuggie did not sketch the sketch card, but Snuggie is on the sketch card, which is pretty cool. Vanessa's pointing out that she knows a lady that wasn't as smart as me. I'm sure she is wizened up to the second campaign, though. Eric says it makes it easy for the customer, or make it easy for the customer to buy what they want. Don't make it difficult. You might turn people away. That is true.
If Vanessa had cover A and B, would she destroy both covers with just one by reading the book over and over and over again?
I don't know. I'm wondering if she just would have planned to buy 2 copies of cover A.
That would be a
I don't
good
know.
idea.
Or maybe she doesn't, as long as she has a second copy of the book, she doesn't care.
Just one.
So where are we for stretch goals? He has what, 100K is the next one that we're trying to get to. We're not very far away from 100K. I know he's definitely going to be in that 6-figure young lady club. Who knows? Maybe I'll end up backing again.
I don't know. Were they listed somewhere?
Yeah, you've scrolled by it.
A sticker is the 100K stretch goal.
2 trading cards and a sticker. So you must feel bad there, Snuggie, making a bookmark for you, because he's obviously team trading card and then team sticker. Because he doesn't have bookmarks on his stretch goals. And Vanessa did point out that she bought 2 cover A's. So 2 of the exact same thing. So she can destroy one and preserve the
she's
other.
just going to destroy one. Okay. I thought she just got one. I'm like, no, that wouldn't be smart. She should have learned the first time. So you're saying Snuggie Jr. is a charity case for Kenneth?
I think so. Sorry to burst your bubble there, Snuggie.
I'm sure Snuggie doesn't care because
he's not exactly missing out on the road.
A bookmark is a bookmark. It's better
Yeah.
than not getting anything.
Maybe this is Kenneth's thinking. Eric points out that no bookmarks are needed for groking. You will read it all in one sitting.
I didn't actually read mine all in one sitting. Almost. It was like almost one sitting, but I took a break.
I think I got interrupted too.
It was all in one day, but
yeah.
Yeah, right, exactly.
There is an image, now that Mo points out, the bookmark is to save your favorite page to go back to. There is an image in Groken 1 that really struck me as I was reading it, and I really love it. And it's probably one of my favorite panels ever. You know, it was a very moving image, very like not moving, well done, creative. I don't know, but you know, I think Roquefort probably is one of the more creative people when it comes to his layouts. But it was the scene where the guy, which I don't know the name, is like resurrected from God, I'm trying to remember the story from reading long ago. But anyways, one of the characters is resurrected by a guy, and it has the sloppy looking guy, and then he's touched by the creator in the middle panel, and then in the last panel he's definitely taking on a more flesh and bone human. And just the way that it's technically 3 panels set up, but if you were to take out the panel breaks in between the image, it would mush together almost like a puzzle piece. And I thought that was a really great way to show the transition, and you know, the colors and everything brought it forth. So but yeah, and you could be right. Oops, I just unhit it. But Vanessa's pointing out that it's Fabian. I don't remember the names. Unfortunately, when I read the books, I don't pick up on the names very good. I probably have to read it a few times to remember all the
I'm thinking maybe you should revisit that book anyway.
Flavius. I should. And actually I got
maybe it'll move up from the 4th spot.
Maybe. I got Arcathena 2 and I haven't read it yet. So I'm gonna need to read Arcathena 1 again to at least that's the plan. Read it again to get Arcathena 2. And Eric's pointing out that it was a great panel. So yeah, that's one of my favorites I think I've ever seen. It without saying anything, it says so much. I think he's missing the long hair there, Eric. All right, so we have gone an hour in about 15 minutes. We covered 2 underfunded campaigns that need some love. The first one being El Crudo, which is a orangutan that is in the Vietnam War and looking to get his way out, I guess. He's come up against what was it? There's a bad guy in there. He's looking to, they're going to battle. And then the other campaign was from Julius Freeman, and that was Vigilant Fury, which basically had a woman who was in Florida that was kidnapped, and she's basically going to do anything she can to get away from her captors. And I guess they human trafficking, I think, is the reason why they kidnapped her. So there's that. And then Groken 2, if you have not backed this, this is definitely this is funded. We were just looking at great Roquefort art with this one, and wishing that it was a little bit more piecemeal to be able to put together what you want from the campaign, so that way you can cover, or you can buy cover B without have to also purchasing cover A. So let's see, just to wrap it up, Get Over It is pointing out that Tiger Blue launch, which is tonight on Bancroft's channel, will be his 700th video. And again, I'm not 100% sure about the launch time. Usually when he launches on his off days, it's 9 p.m. EST. Fowler was talking about 8 p.m., but I think he might be thinking of Central Time. Eric is pointing out the Arc Athena 2 was good. It was more backstory and moving the plot along. It leaves a huge cliffhanger. And I like that, because I don't think I didn't get into Arc Athena 1 as much as I would have hoped I would have. So I am looking forward to revisiting everything. And as Jim points out, thanks for joining us.
Yes, thanks everyone. Catch you all later.
And don't forget to subscribe to Danger V's channel. I tried clicking it. Where I will be on the chat next week. And as far as I know, actually, all right, I'm not 100% sure about my streaming for the weeks for next week, but I will keep you all posted. I think I'll be able to do it, but I'm actually going out of town, so I'm not sure how much streaming I will be doing. But I'll see you in the chats if I don't see you on the panels. And Suggy says it is 9. All right. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful 4th. Hopefully you guys enjoy some grilled food, some fireworks, family, or whatever. But we'll see y'all.
Bye.